Welcome to yet another UCL Fantasy video, and I have done a preview already for Matchday 3 or Gameweek 3, but there is a possibility that I do not wildcard, as I showed you in that video, and I showed you a team, and if I do wildcard I would have something quite similar to that. But if I don't, and I play my free transfers, which I have now and you can see on screen, then this is what I'm going to go with. And in the end, in the community tab, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to post my final team, and you can see, you'll also be able to see who I captain and all of that stuff. But yeah, I am kind of hesitant about playing the wild cards because you know how unpredictable this season has been. It's just been completely crazy. And yeah, in terms of the intro music, I'm going to have to change it. Like, people are actually using the same one as me, so I'm going to have to change that up. But yeah, not much we can do. It's been so much football. I was watching Premier League, Champions League constantly, and just keeping up to date with all of these different leagues and stuff. But some of the changes that you saw in my previous video, you can see them here. And because what I'm trying to do is prioritize, and this is something I'm trying to do in FPL too. And literally, instead of just, oh, I want this guy, oh, he's doing amazing, or he got 20 points in 1 week, I want to kind of just address the main weaknesses in my team and then get a better player in their place. That's pretty much the only way I'm looking at it. So maybe it is possible to hold the wild card and still have quite a solid team for the rest of the group stages. And I'll go through it quickly. I know you can see Adrian starting in goal. Well, to be honest, I'm not going to spend the -4 on a goalkeeper because I do have Neto and he's got a good fixture. So Adrian's just here. I know he's not going to play, but just in case, you never know. Maybe they'll rest Alisson or something. It's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, in the unlikely event that it does, he's there. But yeah, just ignore him. Really, my only keeper at the moment is Neto, and ter Stegen should be back soon. Ideally, I would want Mendy or Bono from Sevilla, but Neto's good. He's got a good fixture here, and I do actually have a list of players that I do want to bring in, and you saw all of them pretty much in my wildcard video, and Mendy would pretty much be the like-for-like replacement for Neto. And then for Adrian, if I wanted to, and I also had the luxury of that free transfer in goal, I could get in that Shakhtar Donetsk keeper. But yeah, 4.5 million, not too many options that are pretty reliable in terms of clean sheets. But yeah, Neto's in there. In terms of the defence, the main change, as you can see here, is Koundé. And I had him in my first draft video. I also had him pretty much in my Game Week 1 preview. But because there was a possibility of him missing the second game when they played Rennes, I did take him out. And yeah, in the end, it didn't really... It wasn't a good decision, but you know, hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? But Koundé at 4 million, definitely the best option. And I'm just surprised that he hasn't gone up in price, because there've been all these price changes for different players. But because he missed the first match day, it was a bit of a blessing in disguise, really, because yeah, he's just stayed the same price. If he had played against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, I think his price would definitely be around 4.2, 4.3 million. Maybe could have gone up even more. But yeah, Koundé, fantastic, and I'm happy to have him in my team, and hopefully in these 2 games against Krasnodar he can do the business. And in terms of the rest of the defence, very similar. I know a lot of you have been pointing out Mats Hummels, and that's a very good shout from all of you, so thank you to everyone who's commented with not just the Mats Hummels suggestions, but just everyone. But I've seen that he's scored in 2 games in a row, and he's getting a lot of ball recovery points. He's just a big threat from set pieces. But I don't want to make an unnecessary transfer or kind of a sideways move from Thomas Meunier to Hummels. On a wildcard though, I would consider it definitely Hummels in for Meunier. But at the moment, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the defence, and he's still really attacking, Thomas Meunier. And like I said, in the first game, he could have got a goal, and he's just always up there. And that's the main thing with him. He also gets a lot of ball recovery points. So Thomas Meunier, very happy with him. And yeah, I think him and Mats Hummels are definitely, at 5 million, 2 of the best options you can go for. There's also others like Danilo and all these people that I obviously showed you in my wildcard video. If you want, check that out as well. Because really in UCL Fantasy, just like in FPL at the moment, just too many options popping up in every single position. But yeah, very happy with this guy. Good fixtures as well on the whole. Benjamin Pavard. Yet again, a very similar situation where ideally I'd want Joshua Kimmich, but Benjamin Pavard is still ticking over, and that's 2 returns from both games, really. Got the clean sheet in the first game against Atletico Madrid, and then he got the assist against Lokomotiv Moscow. And he's 5 million, probably the best asset around that price, definitely in the top 5, 10. And you want that buy and cover. So in my opinion, if you're asking me, if you don't have Kimmich, this guy's the next best thing from Bayern Munich. Davis is injured, unfortunately, and he is a bit of a rotation risk anyway. So yeah, I'd go with these two for sure, Kimmich and Pavard. And the other guy is Felipe. I have to say he's been letting me down. I was bigging up Atletico all season, talking about the defense, Simeone, wow, everything's hunky-dory. And then they concede 4 against Bayern Munich, and then this guy scores an own goal, and they concede 2 at home to Salzburg. So really, hopefully in these 2 games they can do the business against Lokomotiv Moscow, but if not, I have to say Felipe could actually be one to make way, because really I know he's only 4.5 million, so you're not really losing out on too much, but you would expect Atletico Madrid with some of the teams in their group. I know Salzburg are decent, but with Lokomotiv Moscow, you'd expect at least 1 clean sheet. And if not, then yeah, Atletico Madrid defenders just bye-bye, really. You can't really expect too much. But maybe Atletico will improve defensively as the season goes on. In the Premier League, in La Liga, they were actually doing pretty well. They were keeping clean sheets consistently, but it's a whole different ball game playing in the Champions League. And to be fair, they played 2 very good attacking sides, and obviously Bayern Munich are on another level. So that's the defense that's starting, but there's also Florenzi, and I have to say, I'm not too convinced with this guy. He did get the clean sheet against Istanbul, but back-to-back games against Leipzig. I know they lost 5-0 to Man United, but they pretty much gave up at around 3-4-0, and after the first goal was shipped in, they pretty much just kept attacking and attacking. They're like, you know what, whatever, we've got nothing to lose, and either way, Man United, a great performance from them, but yeah, I would expect better things from Leipzig, and in response, they are top of the Bundesliga after all. But yeah, Florenzi, not too confident with him, but he's on my bench and he can come on if need be. And as you can see, my bench is sorted. You know, everyone there is playing on the Wednesday, and they all will be subbed in for the lowest performing players on the Tuesday if I do stick with this and I don't wildcard. Into the midfield, Ansu Fatty. I didn't have him for the Game Week 2 fixture because I did play my Limitless card, but yeah, I would have been very disappointed with him not starting against Juventus. And even then, I didn't expect too many returns. He did earn the penalty, which is technically like an assist, but you only get the 2 points for that. But Ansu Fati, if he starts, I think he's gold. I think him and Messi are the best options from Barcelona, and 2 of the best options you can get from any La Liga club this season in the Champions League. So yeah, Ansu Fati, he's gone up in price to 8.2 million. And I think if he continues to start, and if he continues this rich vein of form, this guy is just an amazing player and one of the best prospects in the world. He's up there with the likes of Greenwood, Martinelli, Saka, all these people. I would kind of exclude Mbappe and Haaland. I think they're on another level, but this guy is very, very good, definitely. And moving on to Sterling, I don't really see a reason to get rid of him. On a wild card, fair enough. I can see why some people might shift to De Bruyne, who also got an assist at the weekend against Sheffield United. But Sterling, in both games in the Champions League, he's delivered, and he won a penalty against Porto, gets a few ball recovery points here and there, scored and assisted against Marseille, who aren't a bad side, and then 2 games against Olympiacos. He's going to be the main attacker. Gabriel Jesus should be back, and Sterling actually plays very well when Jesus is on the pitch, and Aguero should be back too as well. So City have more options. They should be doing better. And to be honest, in the Champions League, Manchester City have been doing well. It's just in the Premier League they can't really get their act together going forward. But yeah, very happy with this guy. And even on a wild card, I don't think it's pretty difficult to get rid of this guy, to be honest. I still think he's a great asset. And his price, I mean, if he was this price in FPL, maybe I wouldn't get him now, but 10.5 million is a fantastic price for Sterling and definitely worth looking at. Now, I got in Rashford and I'm still confident if he does play, he will do well. There is the slight risk of rotation because Manchester United have an important game next weekend against Everton, especially considering that they lost to Arsenal, and of course I had to throw that in there, but yeah, I do think Man United will play the best team, and obviously don't shoot the messenger, it's just my opinion. I'm not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but if you think of it logically, these are 2 winnable games, and if they win both of them, they're pretty much already qualified. Then they have PSG and Leipzig, the pressure's off, and they can focus more on the league, where they really need to start getting things going. So I do think Rashford will play, and the best players. Will they score and stuff? Obviously no one knows, there's never a guarantee, but I think at 9 million, this guy is one of the best. And I had Di Maria before, so it's kind of an easy switch to make. Di Maria was not doing the business. He was a bit unlucky, I guess, in the first 2 game weeks. I know some of you have pointed that out, but Marcus Rashford hasn't been so unlucky in the Champions League. He's been doing the business, and he's one of the main guys at Man United. And Bruno at 9.5, he's on penalties. You could also go for him, but I did go with Marcus Rashford, a bit of a differential as well, and quite explosive, as you could see in his 27 minutes, I believe, against Leipzig. Yeah, that's just completely crazy. And then even against PSG, got an important goal. Rashford, definitely one of the main people at United, and in the Champions League, he's done it before, not just this season. So yeah, quite confident with him if he does start, but there is a rotation risk, don't get me wrong. I just think it would be logical to play him to get the Champions League sorted, get into the knockouts and focus on the league. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully Oli manages that situation well. Moving on to the other two midfielders I have, Barrios stays, and really there's not much more that needs to be said. At 4.5 million, you're not going to get better. He gets the ball recovery points. He's a good little option who can get 5 points now and again. It reminds me of Tossart from Lyon last season, pretty much the exact same thing, so very happy with this guy. As for Olmo though, yeah, he did get 4 and 5 points, which isn't bad, but ideally you'd want more, because if he gets these ball recovery points that he has been getting, and he adds goals and assists on top, yeah, he's a fantastic option. But Casemiro at 6 million with so many ball recoveries, even got a goal and assist against Borussia Mönchengladbach, he looks like a much better option at the moment. But yeah, Dani Olmo can do well against PSG. PSG aren't exactly amazing defensively, but with Marquinhos back, with a few of their key players starting to get back into the fold, with Moise Kean adapting well, it's going to be a tough game, and I'm not too confident in returns from Dani Olmo, but whatever. In this game, it's kind of hard to anticipate because there's also the ball recovery points that come into play, and that can kind of change the whole complexion of your week, and also just of which players you want to get. That's why before I would say don't go for Casemiro, go for Olmo, but now I'm kind of leaning more towards Casemiro. But yeah, I'm not going to take hits to get rid of Olmo for Casemiro. I don't think I'd do that. But yeah, that's my midfield and my defence. And my attack, pretty much the exact same, but Traore is in here, and he's here for Koita. And Koita's doing very well in the league, but in the Champions League just hasn't been going. And like I pointed out with this guy, he got 5 goals and 3 assists in their 13-0 win the other week. And he capped that off with another goal against Atalanta, and he's got back-to-back games against Midtjylland. It's just absolutely crazy. So yeah, he's just been doing well. He also earned a penalty against Atalanta, and I think he can do very, very well. At 5 million, that could be an absolute steal considering the next 2 games. After that, maybe it'll be a bit more difficult, because by then, I think Liverpool should have Fabinho back, and I think Liverpool, at least in the Champions League anyway, they've been quite decent defensively. It's just in the Premier League they can't really keep those clean sheets. And then against Atalanta, not an easy game, but Atalanta aren't great defensively. I still think there could be plenty of goals from both sides in that game. And Lassina Traore could actually be someone you can keep throughout the rest of the group stages. Unfortunately, Ajax could get knocked out, and you can't really have this guy in the knockouts, but it would be great if you could, because 5 million is a great enabler for the rest of your midfield, your defence, and your other 2 attackers. And speaking of other 2 attackers, Lewandowski, I don't want to take a hit to go from him to Messi, because even though Messi is Messi, he hasn't been at his absolute best. He's played well, but with Messi, you can get even more. This season is his worst start ever. He did score that penalty against Juventus, but Lewandowski, I think sooner or later he's going to explode. Salzburg are a good team, but defensively they concede a lot of goals. They conceded 3 to Atletico de Madrid, and against Lokomotiv Moscow, I don't know if they were 2-0 up, but they ended up drawing that game 2-2, and I would expect Lewandowski to unlock that defence in one of these games. Even against Atletico away, he can do something, although it's not as likely. And then to cap it off, Lokomotiv Moscow, the only thing is maybe Lewandowski will be rested, and Choupo-Moting will come in place, or someone else up front for Bayern to kind of rest players, because they probably would have qualified by then, let's face it. But still have the faith in Lewandowski, and I would not take a hit to get this guy out. I'm not doing it myself, and if you lot ask me, should I take a hit to get rid of him? No. If you're on a wild card, you could get rid of him, but just be aware that it's Lewandowski. He's probably one of the most informed players in the last year or 2. He's one of the best players in the world, so there's always that risk, and he plays in such a great team who creates so many chances for him. And Haaland, this guy's just a beast. He's 19, 18, whatever. I mean, to be honest, he's playing like a 27-year-old in his prime. He scores goals consistently. He's the main guy for Dortmund, and 11 million in my opinion is still a great price. Last season was 4.5 million. That just shows the rise of this guy. Hopefully he keeps on going. It's great to see. And yeah, like I said, that Matchday 4 game, I'm really looking forward to that. and I think there can be a big haul from him in that one. But even away, he can do well. Even against Lazio, who are a good team, Haaland can do the business. And then Zenit away. And to be honest, I don't think he's the type to kind of get rotated too much, Erling Haaland. But yeah, just a fantastic player. And yeah, him and maybe Hummels or Meunier, those are the players you really want from Dortmund. I wouldn't really go with Sancho. I think there are better options around 9 million, 10 million, 11 million. But yeah, Haaland, you can't really go against this guy. I think he's just a beast. So that is my team if I don't play my wild card and I just play my free transfers. And that's another thing, by the way. If you did play your wild card or limitless, I believe, in Game Week 2, you still actually have up to 3 transfers going into Matchday free. So that's something they have changed this year, which I didn't notice actually before, but that's very, very handy. And it also allows me to kind of save the wildcard potentially. Now, I'll just explain it quickly. The reason why I may end up holding the wildcard into the knockouts is because let's say you put all your eggs in one basket. And I'll admit, I think I did this last season with the Manchester City-Lyon game. I kind of underestimated Lyon. I thought they could win, but I thought, you know what, City I think will score plenty of goals in this game at least if they get knocked out. Ended up being a Lyon win, and only De Bruyne did well in that game, I think. And yeah, City got knocked out. I had 3-4 players from City, maybe 5, and I had to end up changing it. But the other side to it is that in the group stages, having a very good bench is important because it gives you more options. There's more rotation in the group stages because the games aren't as important as the knockouts. But yeah, going into the knockouts, you could just have 11 players and you don't really need anyone on the bench, so it's easier to fill out without using the wildcard. But I don't know, there still could be a benefit of using a wildcard. There's also, let's say for example, you could have, I know a friend of mine, he had pretty much 2 of his players have COVID in the same week. Hakimi, which was a false test in the end, and Alphonso Davies. And what if you have one of those weeks? What if someone else gets injured? And you know, there's so many things that come into play here. So you could just play the wildcard in that situation. And to be honest, I'm still happy with my team without using the wildcard. With those free transfers, free transfers, yeah, I'm just very happy with that. So it's something to think about. I still may play my wildcard, and obviously I'll let you guys know. Just check my community tab by Tuesday. But there's also a possibility I just go with this, and I'm very happy with my team. Lewandowski will most likely be my captain if I keep things as they are. But if not, it will probably be Raheem Sterling on the Tuesday. Let me just double check that. I don't want to feed you misinformation. Yeah, on the 3rd of November, it'd be either Sterling or Lewandowski as my captain. And to be honest, I think this guy plays on the 3rd as well. I mean, it could be a nice differential captain, but yeah, maybe that's being a bit too woke, as they say. But yeah, Sterling or Lewandowski, my captain for the Tuesday. And if not, on the Wednesday, the ever-reliable Haaland, and hopefully I haven't jinxed him there, he'd be my captain on the Wednesday if Lewandowski or Sterling don't really do the business for me. If not, Rashford against Istanbul could be very, very good. But yeah, those are my 4 captaincy choices. So Lewandowski and Sterling for the Tuesday. And if not, Haaland or Rashford for the Wednesday. And I will confirm that in the community tab as I keep on saying. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching all of my videos in UCL Fantasy and also the FPL. I'll be posting more videos on that. And yeah, that's just been turbulent in itself. But yeah, looking to build on the 93 points I got in Matchday 2. Hopefully can do even better here and save that wildcard potentially. And that could be very, very important. But happy with my team. If you have any problems with your teams, let me know down in the comment section below. Or if you're happy, or if there are any players you would suggest to me and also to others in the community, put them down in the comment section. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. And turn on notifications because I upload UCL Fantasy and FPL content pretty much every single week. But yeah, it's been, well, this is just so much football, and we learn new stuff every day, every week. But yeah, should be fun, and hopefully UCL continues to be as impressive as it has been in the first 2 weeks, and I'll see you next time.